Welcome to Miniatures with Melissa, where I talk about all things miniature. I wanted to create a channel where I could share my love for miniatures and share about I'm renovating my childhood dollhouse. And there's a miniature challenge right now on Instagram that I was planning on creating content for today, which is the prompt was about Creator's Corner. And so I wanted to fix up my corner so that I could take photos of it. But then I was like, why don't I just show you what I'm doing? In this corner, I have like different kinds of miniatures that I'll use in like a picture setup or things that I haven't quite made yet. Like these are postcards that my daughter has drawn all over. Not all over, just at the corner. She's writing to somebody, her friend, who knows. But when I take photos, I'm trying to share like more about like the process. And so I really love, to be honest, 2020 I started, I was like obsessed with vintage Instagram pages, profiles, and some of the talent of like how they create their spaces. It's just really inspiring. And I, for a short period of time, thought that I was going to make a vintage profile, which I have one, which it's on private now because I don't post anymore. But I like loved the way that people would set up their photos. They would create these spaces as though they were like living in a different time period. And I really love set decoration and props and theater and film, set design. And so I'm really, I admire people who can do stuff like that. And so the vintage page didn't last, but I still created kind of like a space for me to work on my miniatures and the renovation of my childhood dollhouse, which my grandfather built for me. So a lot of this stuff like in my workspace is actually like very sentimental. My idea today was to I didn't know, like to talk about miniatures, my love for miniatures, but then I realized as I was setting up the camera that behind me, I had wanted to like kind of mask this area. So now that's what my video is gonna be about. So I have this paper, Recollections paper from Michael's craft store, which I used to scrapbook quite a lot. My mom was like an avid scrapbooker and used to teach classes, and we would have people over and everybody would like scrapbook. I don't scrapbook anymore just because there's not enough time. But I love scrapbook paper, and they have all this really cool like brick. And I used to put scrapbook paper in my dollhouse, which if I can figure out how to do that, I will put pictures on the video. If I could do that. Hopefully I figured out how to do that. Yeah, so, and I'll show photos, hopefully, of a very like young, not very good cutting job of like scrapbook paper. But I used to love doing that. I would take scrapbook paper and redo a room in the dollhouse when I was a kid. Scrapbook paper is one of my favorite things to use. So what I was gonna do is I'm going to cut this paper and slip it just in the front of these little drawers. Also, just for any of you crafters out there, it's really hard for me to like let go of one craft and like move on to the next, because this paper was originally I purchased for a different project, which in my mind still maybe might happen. Just it's different, but so it's like, oh well, I'll have to buy this paper again, but I probably won't get to that other craft. But that's okay. Some of this paper is just so perfect for room boxes, or really like anything. You could take like a shoebox and make a little miniature room. I mean, it is so hard to make floor like this, which I've tried to make floor like this kind of with popsicle sticks, which This is like one floor that goes into the dollhouse. I have yet to try and accomplish something like this. I mean, some people can do like these intricate little tiny like detailed floors, and I'm just in awe. I'm working up to it, but just like in awe of people's talent. So I realized I start a lot of my sentences with so. So there's a lot of brick and wood in this pack of paper, which is really cool because it'll kind of like match everything. A little burlap print. And this wood, which is very pretty. And this. So we'll see. I think honestly one of my favorites is this. And this really pretty tiny little brick. I'm also hoping, I have a lot of hoping. I'm hoping to figure out how to do bricks along the end of or the bottom of my dollhouse. But like real brick, like I've seen people, I don't know, it's crazy, but I'm gonna try. Anyways, one project at a time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll join me on my next miniature adventure.